Hello everyone! Today I'll be doing the social media book tag. Let's get started. Okay, first one is Twitter, and this is your favorite short story, like under 200 pages. I would have to pick The Giver. I read this in 7th grade. I don't really remember much of it. The movie was great, but it's under 200 pages. Twitter. I don't like Twitter. I don't. Twitter, it's like, you can only have so many words, but I want to see more, and I don't like Twitter. Next is Facebook. You know, Facebook went back when it was actually cool to have a Facebook, and it was the thing to have. I didn't get mine till it was out of trend, and then it's like, no one's on it anymore. But anyways, this is a book you were pressured into reading, and that would be The Maze Runner. Okay, I'm not really pressured into reading many books because my friends and people I hang out with aren't really that big of readers, and they don't really suggest a lot of books. So I'm usually the suggester. They're not. But my one friend read The Maze Runner, and this has been on my shelf forever, and I kind of was just like always avoiding it. Then she said how much she really liked it, so I was like, okay, I'll read it, and I still didn't like it. It reminded me too much of Lord of the Flies, the book I had to read in 9th grade, and that just didn't go well at all.
Night feels like one of those nights, dressed up like hipsters.
So this one is Tumblr, and it's like a book you read before it was cool to read, and that would be Divergent by Veronica Roth. When this was popular more among book readers, but wasn't like over popular like The Hunger Games. And so when I read this book, everyone I talked to never heard of this book, and I would tell people, you gotta read it, it's awesome. Be like, that book is dumb, who would read it? And now it's like, yeah, it's popular and now you're reading it. Like, I mean, in math class, we used to have to read and it was great, and we had to talk about our books, and the teacher never called on me, and I wanted to talk about this book. I was actually Tris for Halloween back in 2012. I was Tris for Halloween and no one knew who I was. And like, I mean, I had a black tank top on, black pants, a leather jacket, and the birds around my collarbone. They were like, what are you? Next is MySpace, and I already knew about MySpace, but I was too young to really have one. And this is a book that if you read now, you probably wouldn't like it so much. I had to pick The Diary of a Wimpy Kid and The Lightning Thief, aka the Percy Jackson series. Now, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this book, but I read these when I was 13, and so I've been in this fandom for a while now, and then just reading other books of literature, I have found that how much better they are in a sense, and then coming back to read these, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to finish through The House of Hades. I want to finish the series because, like I said, I've been reading since I was 13, but it's a slow process. I'm sorry if you like Percy Jackson though. I really am. Next is Instagram, and these are books that have the prettiest cover, or books you like to take pictures with. I mean, if you're like me, I took my senior pictures with books. You know, normally people do like basketball, if they're in basketball, or guitar if they play guitar. Nope, I took mine with books. But those would have to be The Ring and the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz. I love this book. It was, the cover is so pretty. It's hipster. The writing's hipster. Emerald Green by Kirsten Gier. This is the only pretty cover in the series I own. I own all the paperbacks in the first, second books, and they're not as pretty as this one. I love these covers, they're so pretty. And then Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. My favorite series, and I just love all the covers actually in this book, but this one probably has to be my favorite. Next is YouTube, and this is a book you want to turn into a movie. I am not a big fan of books going to movie. I feel like it ruins them, because then I feel like the way I perceive the characters in the world to look like, it's starting to be persuaded by how the director thinks the characters in the world should look like, and then I don't picture them how I originally picture them. So I actually try to avoid movies based off of books. But if I had to pick one, it would be Cinder by Marissa Myers. They're amazing. I wouldn't mind actually seeing a movie based off of these, because I think it would be very interesting to see how a director would adapt this world. Next is Goodreads, and these are books you would recommend to people. So I'm gonna recommend The Selection by Kiera Cass. I love this book, and if you're just wondering what it is, I'm gonna tell you a little about it. It's about this girl, her name's America Singer, and there's this thing called Selection. It's like The Bachelor, but obviously a lot better. And anyway, so she has to compete in this thing called The Selection against 35, I think? 35 girls in hopes to win the heart of Prince Maxon, and it's a great read. It's quick too. It's actually really short, but it's just, you're gonna fall in love with this world, and the characters are amazing, and I highly suggest this book if you're thinking about picking it up. Next, this will be no shocker, but Legend by Marie Lu. I would highly recommend this book. It takes place in two perspectives, and normally I'm not a two perspective type person, but these books, it works. Okay, so we have the first perspective, Day, and he is the Republic's most wanted criminal. Like, he commits all these crimes and the Republic wants him dead, so they are always after him. Then we have Jude, and she is the Republic's prodigy, because when you're 12 years old you get to trial, and whatever ranking you get in is how you're basically gonna live the rest of your life. And their paths cross, and it's such an interesting book. I read it in 3 days. It's a quick, fast-paced book that I guarantee you will love it. And next we have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This book is a little slow to begin with, but I mean, once you hit 50, it just takes off and you're not going to be able to put it down. It's these kids who end up with these really weird abilities. Like, for example, you can move things with your mind, or you're really smart, which I don't get how really smart is a disadvantage, but that's one of them. You can be really smart, or you are good with electricity or fire. What once was America is trying to round up these kids, put them into camps because they're considered dangerous. Well, then the main character, Ruby, escapes, and just the whole story just takes off from there, and it's amazing. I highly recommend the series to you. Anyways, that's my social media book tag, and thank you for watching. Feel free in the comments below to write what books you would put for certain social media tags, and I have to tag people because it's a tag video, so I'm just going to tag whoever watches it. If you watch it, go do this video, and let me know if you do this, because I'm going to want to watch it too, because I'm interested in seeing what you have to say. Thank you for watching. Bye!